Alright, so the stream should be back up now. Let me just reload this. Okay. Like this track still. Alright. For some reason this thing is like over streaming. It's literally over streaming. I had to enforce encoder limits real quick. Now it seems like it's more stable. Alright, so cause like it was outputting at like 7,000 megabits and like it should be only at like 6,000 max, so I restricted it. Now it's much better. So who is here right now? Who is here right now? Because what I'm trying to figure out is like, what I was thinking of doing is just like asking people. Alright, yeah, so like, you heard what I was saying in the Discord, right? I was just thinking of like, asking people to give me a mon to build with, you know? So, I know you like Gallion a lot. I had to turn down the music. I'm just here like trying to fix the audio levels. Hold on. Alright, I think around there, that should be good, I'd say. Okay. So. Yep, I'm here. Maybe guard. I know you like guard more. You're so right. I do like guard more. Actually, why not do a mono flying? Why not? I mean, well, they did introduce heavy duty boots, so that is nice. Though stealth rock does piss me off. You know, I'm like not having Articuno anymore. That hurts. No Volt Absorb Thunderous. That hurts. No Landorus. You know. So like that's why we don't do mono flying anymore. We do nowadays, we do like mono psychic, even mono fairy. Like we do that nowadays. Mono dark, you know. So I mean we're here chilling. We got the mons up. I have a little LC little cup Jilbur over here. Mono electric. Yeah, we can do mono electric. Alright, so well, first things first about electric, they are only have one weakness, which is the ground type. So you have Rotom right there. I would instantly say that is key to a mono type electric team. Due to its levitate ability, it's really only threatened by Mold Breaker, Excadrill, or Haxorus after a Dragon Dance. So Rotom would be a really solid mon. Galvantula Galvantula gives you some sticky web. This one is running some light screen. It's like a different set that I was trying out before. I have multiple builds, so in case you're wondering why there's no sticky web, even though I'm talking about it, you could run, and you probably should run sticky web on it. And then you could maybe run that with it, but I'm gonna explore other options just to help elaborate for you, because also with this you do struggle against the grass type, which the rest of your team also does struggle against. So if you are using Galvantula as a lead, then essentially you are allowing the one thing that takes out the grass type, or like your efficient way to take out the grass type early in the game. So even though sticky web is good, you should definitely consider, you know, like the volt switch on it, and it would definitely be a good option. But it's gonna be kind of difficult to take down grass types for you, and then ground types such as Gastrodon could also be a little bit difficult due to it being able to sponge pretty much everything that they throw at it. If you're running Giga Drain just for the Gastro, it's like, toxicity for grass? Yeah, that could definitely be a good way. See, that's a great way to be thinking, you know? So it's like, you kind of just like look at what you struggle to take out. That's amazing, dude. Like, I'm glad that, you know, you're bringing that to the table, dude. So like, toxicity would be a good way to help you counter the grass types, and like, you know that toxicity has like kind of like a low speed stat, so like it would pair up really well with the Galvantula too with the sticky web. So like, if you do lose that, you still have a way to take out grass. So now you can say that they all kind of struggle against maybe like a bulky steel kind of deal. So you can't really run Rotom Heat with Rotom Wash necessarily, but you have other options that you could explore. I could go ahead and actually go on Bulbapedia here and pull up the entire list of electric type Pokemon, which is what you should do. Either that, or you can go on a Showdown, which is actually better. I'm gonna go on Showdown. I wish I could also show it on this, but now it's like, the problem is that I have to switch this over. 1 sec. Let me move this. Switch over my input, and then we are going to show the desktop here. Move this over. So let's say that you were looking at any chance of getting Drapion or the Amoonguss I saw of Zion. Well, I mean, if you want the Amoonguss like a clone of it, then yeah, I could hook you up with that in a little bit. We're just gonna finish this team up, and then once I head over to the game, yo, I feel like this music is loud, bro. I'm gonna turn it down some more. Alright. So, yeah, what I was saying, you know what I mean? Like, I'll definitely clone that for you when we're done building this team, broski. Got you. So, electric. This guy wants a mono-type electric team, so we can go ahead and do that. We'll just call it this, or you want to add a space. Okay, so, would you call it mono? I wouldn't really call it mono-type tier. I would just follow OU, and then just simply run electric types. Why is it not typing? So yeah, you know all about this. You type it in, you can filter by type. So, oh, I didn't know if you had a Amoonguss that. Oh yeah, I do. I have an Amoonguss, but I'm sure yours is superior. Yeah, bro. I mean, I could host up a I was gonna say superior. Wow, I can host a Amoonguss for you, my friend. Yo, imagine if we had superior though. Oh man, that would be lit. Ooh, that contrary leaf storm and the glare. Oh man. Okay, so you wanted toxicity would be solid, and then we were talking about Galv, and we were talking about Rotom. Well, technically all forms of Rotom work. Depending on what other ways you try and deal with ground, you have grass as well, but wash I'd still recommend more. And then what else? I mean, taking out ground types could still be problematic, but I mean, that is what it is. Let's peek this list. You have Raichu, you have Sturdy on Magnezone. Superior is definitely underrated. Dracozold's pretty cool. What else do we get? I see. You have Emolga for the flying type, which could be quite useful as a free switch into ground, and then you got, I think it gets Tailwind. Pretty sure. Wait, what? Oh, I'm an idiot. Fucking retard. Typing in the wrong spot. Okay. So I mean, you could try that. I mean, and then and then with Magnezone, that kind of does help a little bit, because then it's like it's weak to the rock type, and then you kind of cover that. Weak to the ice type, you kind of cover that. Your fire weakness is covered there. Your ground weakness is kind of your, so that could kind of work together. and then your fighting weakness is kind of covered there as well. So typing wise they work really nicely. You need something that has some bulk in here, because you have a lot of offense but you need some bulk. So this should be like a will-o-wisp kind of pivot user, I would say. And then you should be set up, and then you air balloon I think is nice on you. Even though it could definitely run a choice item, I would say air balloon is the way to go. I think that's like a superior item for Magnezone. And then you still have a slot left. I would say we need some bulk in here. You'd want some bulk because you have special, a lot of special. So yo, Dragozolt looks pretty good. Like a Blissey would come up in here and kind of laugh at the whole team, to be honest with you. So like you kind of gotta be careful. I mean, you don't really have many options against Blissey, to be honest with you. Like Morpeko versus a Toxic Stall. I don't know, like Blissey is gonna do pretty much, there's nothing besides the banded Dracozolt which is gonna handle that. Dracozolt's not a bad mon either. With Tailwind support, it can also definitely push. With Scarf, it's not bad either. I mean, I'd say Scarf's a nicer item. You could run that. It's not really to give you much bulk, but I think it would give you... Oh. Yo, I'm not even looking. So yeah. Choice Scarf. You could Scarf it. I think that would just allow it to outspeed things and just pick up some kills. I mean, you know, with that Bolt Beak. I would say run Volt Absorb over Hustle just for that accuracy, to be honest. It does hit pretty hard already. But you want to argue about Hustle, but that's up to you. I would say Volt Absorb, but you could definitely run Hustle if you want to run that. And then Magnezone, I would say give him the Air Balloon. If he's only 1 times weak to the Max Knuckle, it's not too bad because it's only base 95. If it's close combat, he's gonna cry. But I mean, at least he has something of a defense stat, so it should help him against the Max Knuckle, which is the only thing that you should be worried about. Reconnect. Okay, that's weird. I didn't mean to put this on there. That's just there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, regarding this, like Magnet Pull is pretty solid. It would help you take out Excadrill, because when you switch in on it, if it goes for the ground move, then you trap it in. If it's choice locked, then that's even better. If it's not choice locked, it has to go for the Rock Slide first, and then you can just go for your Body Press. So that is a solid mon in general. Emolga, did the Magnezone? Nah, it didn't get banned. No. We're gonna make this for singles, and we'll call this a singles team. Then. At least you have a fair bit of Volt Switch availability. You have resistance to fighting, fire, resistance to grass, flying, resistance to rock and ice and fairy, immunity to poison, resistance to water. You have resistance to grass, immunity to ground. You have resistance to bug and resistance to steel, and you have resistance to normal, and you have what else? Resistance to electric, of course. So yeah, this team could work if you just simply use your Volt Switch and just simply play smart. You don't have any damaging entry hazard access. All you have is Sticky Web. So if they have a lot of bulk, then you're gonna struggle. You know, if they have healing, it's gonna be problematic. If they have a Gastron, looks like that could be problematic. So, you know, it's really sticky to run electric, but I mean, the only other option would be swapping out Emolga for something more offensive. You know, at the cost of being at more mercy for ground. You know, you could try. You know, cause toxicity, I mean, that's kind of your best way to take out grass, I'd say, cause this thing, it's not bad, but it doesn't have the most power. It gets max airstream, but it still lacks the power. So I don't know. You know what I mean? energy ball there, like takes out Gastro that way, you could say. I mean, it does have some setup. It has Nuzzle, T-Wave. It has, what else? Yeah, it has Defog and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's not even bad mod. It's decent setup mod. Defog would be useful, but I mean, it's easy to protect this mod too. Really easy to protect this mod. You can tailwind or you can volt switch. So Moga does work quite nicely. And then you can also just hard switch. So Moga does work really nicely. So what's the real problem? The real problem is that you have no way to take out special walls, in the sense that Dracozold's the only thing that hits on the physical spectrum. So if you that's like really like the only thing. Like Toxicity can go like Shift Gear, Drain Punch, but that's not really ideal. It's not ideal. That's more like a double thing that you would run with like Kling Klang, and it's not really the same thing. So yeah, Mono Electric is okay, but for this generation it lacks, you know. But you can run something along these lines. I'd say it could be okay. At least it gives you something to hit the Blissey with, something to hit the special wall with. You know, you need something to hit the special wall with. At that point, it's like you can even run a freaking band, because like everyone else is fast, and even with Galvantula with a sash, it's like, what speed are you really worried about? Like priority with who? Weavile? What do you mean? You know what I mean? It's like you don't really care too much. It does have a low kick, but it is what it is, man. Like it's not gonna be able to do too much to you. Like, yeah, like this is obviously not supposed to be. This is whatever. I don't even know how some of the items get there, but yeah, like you could try this. I'd say as long as you have the Draco there, like I can just slap some moves onto it real quick. It's your choice between Outrage and Dragon Claw, to be honest with you. I would normally go for the Dragon Claw, but Outrage is not too shabby. It's just tough though. It's really tough, because like sometimes you're trying to take out a ground type and you don't want to lock yourself in. So yeah, like Fire Fang is also pretty solid, as it allows you to hit the Ferrothorn and the Caesar. I'm not saying that Caesar is too problematic for you, but you know, it gives you something, because you can trap it with Magnezone as well. So yeah, you can definitely run these, and then your Earthquake allows you to take out opposing electric types that you switch into. So that's also useful, and you should probably be able to outspeed Excadrill. It's just that if they're Scarf, then, you know, just give it a Scarf, of course. You could probably run an Adamant, to be honest with you. Like Jolly, go 273, that is quite nice. You can run like this. You outspeed Cloyster. You can give it a little bit more bulk on the special, and just dump the rest in the HP. Just make sure that you're odd. And you can run something like that if you want. You can run a Jolly. I mean, Jolly's not too shabby, but I mean, if it's Scarfed, it's Scarfed. I'd wanna run some calcs. Like if it's Scarfed, it's Scarfed. So you're at 360. What are you trying to catch up to at 360? Mostly you have like 350, and then like 353, 348, 360, 361 you have 361, but who else is around 360? So you can outspeed 361. Like, there's no one else really around there. It's like you kind of have some extra stuff with the Scarf. You can even run, like, technically that does outspeed it, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So yeah, 363. I mean, just for my paranoia's sake, I would even say just give it like a little bit. Give it like 1 extra speed just for whatever. But yeah, you can still run it adamant. That would do pretty nicely. The extra speed wouldn't really help you catch up to anything. So... Magnezone. Yeah, I mean, you just run a standard Magnezone set. I mean, what else does it really run? What the fuck, you got Curse? I didn't even know that. That's cool, I guess. What would you even run with Curse, bro? Like Curse Gyro Ball. Ha! What attack stat do you have? Funny, 70 though. Curse Gyro Ball with Body Press. Yikes, hold the fuck up. Curse Gyro Ball Body Press with Analytic. And like... Bro, what? And just like give it the Volt Switch to get out of there? Like, yikes. That'd be hilarious. If you pull up on someone with that, you'd probably just leave. I'd leave. I would actually leave. What is that? That's a crazy, interesting, funny idea, but I would not do that. Well, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't, but like, nah, we not doing that. But like, yo, imagine though, I mean, you could kind of pull something on those lines off though. Especially since I guess like Light Screen, you can run like Curse Light Screen. Gyro Ball is not really the best option though given your attack, so it's like, And you have Iron Defense, which is still better than Curse, so it's like, you know, it's like doesn't really work either way. Like, it's still outclassed by Iron Defense. But anyways, so you can give it a standard set. I mean, the only thing that I would have normally done different besides this set would have been like Magnet Rise, you know, which is like a move that I used to use, but now that like, you know, Air Balloon is like kind of the shit, it works. You know, the only difference is that you can use Magnet Rise and then like D-Max and not worry about the item, but you know, it is what it is. Like, Air Balloon I think is still better because it allows you to just straight up switch in on the ground and you're not worried about it like that off the bat. So yeah, I would more so run it like this. I normally max out its special attack stat, and then its speed stat I like to give it some speed. You can give it like to be honest, if it goes up to 219, that's like not even so insane. If I look at the numbers here, like giving you 178 is a pretty solid number, and 186 is a number to look out for sure. So 187 would be really solid, and then you could just give it some bulk. So it was 299 over here. 282 is okay, 289 is nicer. You can run it like this, give you a little bit of power in your body press. Anything up on the third switch currently? Tough not being able to see. No, not anything right now because I'm using that to do battles and stuff. Emolga, I mean, this thing is so intricate that I want to see what Smogon says. Because I don't really battle with Emolga much, and it has so many moves available to it. I don't know what they really recommend. So I was thinking like Volt Switch would be useful. They're saying Encore and Taunt. I agree, those are really good. I would probably go for Volt Switch over U-Turn personally. They're saying U-Turn and T-Bolt though. T-Bolt instead of that, eh? But then that allows you to get hit by Rocky Helm, but I guess T-Bolt's good because it allows you to stay on certain things. But yeah, like, yeah, if you're running Roost on it, then T-Bolt's pretty okay. But if you're trying to run Tailwind on here now, then you don't have room for Roost. It would have to be Tailwind, yeah, and then Taunt or Encore. Taunt I think is pretty nice, because it helps prevent setups. But, I mean, at that point, like, Defog's interesting. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just outclassed, but by what? Because, like, you do like Tailwind. You have Zero Aura, which is pretty fast. Raichu's speedy. Heliolisk is good. It helps you against water and against Charizard. You're not worried about Charizard too much. Man. Like, the Rotom forms are like what's really OP. If you just had a full team of Rotom, like that's like probably like among, not even a full team of Rotom, but like a second Rotom. We just make it busted. It just changed the whole thing entirely. But let's see. Yeah, you got Heliolisk. Sorry about that. Heliolisk, Aura, Amoga, Raichu, Arctozolt, Jolteon, Morpeko. Morpeko could be interesting. Ooh, just because it gives you some physical power. It gets Bullet Seed, so that does help you take out ground. And Gastrodon could be problematic for this team, so that helps against that. Maybe you can consider running more Pico there. But the thing is, if you do that, then you have to rely on Galvantula for the speed advantage. Because now Toxtricity's gonna have to rely on his lower base speed, Magnezone has to do the same thing, and then Rotom has to do the same thing. You're probably gonna want to run again the Will-O-Wisp defensive Rotom, so you're not gonna have that much speed on this team aside from this. So you're gonna be relying on Galvantula for a bit. Morpeko does tie in there, but now when you lose Tailwind, I'm just saying you're losing Tailwind, so you're kind of losing a little bit of speed. Now you're kind of half speed. You do have Thunder Wave access, but I would say Will-O-Wisp is better. So I would probably run it like that. Yeah, especially given how you're kind of slow already. It's like a toss-up. It's a toss-up. You don't really have anything to sponge, so I would say go for Will-O-Wisp right off the bat just to help you out, you know. Will-O-Wisp is probably going to be more useful against like Tyranitar and stuff like that, you know. Alright, so yeah, Morpeko is going to be interesting. So you can give it Aura Wheel, Bullet Seed. I didn't even know it gets Fake Out. Oh, it gets Parting Shot too. Oh, it gets Seed Bomb. It's a tough one. Bullet Seed does break things, like Rindoberry. That's a tough one. 2 to 5 times. 3 times, yeah, I'd say Bullet Seed is better. And then you don't get U-turn, you get Taunt, but I would say run a Choice Band on it though. Either that or a Life Orb. Toxtricity, I was thinking was going to be a little bit interesting. If you're already running the Scarf here, Air Balloon there, then you might be Specs or Throat Spray. One or the other. But I would say run a Band on this, and that's why I'm kind of like, The Band is not shabby, Life Orb is not bad either, but you do like that power. But actually not, go Life Orb. Just so you can change up, yeah, just so you can change up. Yeah, go Life Orb. In case you want to D-Max, it has a good speed stat, so it could potentially grab a little sweep, you know? If it D-Maxes. So go there, and then this thing changes. So it starts off as electric, so run Crunch alongside that, so that you have access to both of them on turn 1, both of your stabs. And then Brick Break turns into Max Knuckle and also gets more power than Brick Break. So that's also something to really note. That would definitely be an interesting set. I would say try this for Morpeko and see what happens. That'd be interesting. Though the thing is that with web support you could maybe get away with admin, but let me you're only at 322, never mind. You're not gonna be fast enough. 293. It's not the worst speed, but it's not enough. So we'll just do this. You can make it shiny. if you want, of course. What were we? Yeah, so that was that, and then your Rotom. Tough not being able. Yeah, I feel that. Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump. Oh, you do get Defog, which could be interesting. Your Volt Switch is gonna be useful. And then from there is where you have like your extra moves. So Defog, Nasty Plot, not so much. Light Screen, Reflector, both interesting. Light Screen's interesting if you run both Will-O-Wisp and Light Screen per se, but I would say just run both T-Wave and Will-O-Wisp personally, just in case, like, you know, like Thunder Wave seems more optimal. The other option would just be Shadow Ball to help you hit things like Dragapult, which wall both your Hydro Pump and Volt Switch. It also hits Gardevoir, it hits Bronzong, it just hits other things, but Thunder Wave is really solid in general. You know, like, you really can't go wrong with that. It's just you really need a lot of speed and then power, so it's like, it's tough. I would say actually, I would say Nasty Claw would be really solid, and it's just, since you would have the Sticky Web advantage, it really could pull with the Nasty Plot. It's just that Volt Switch and Dynamax is not so powerful, and if you Volt Switch then you lose your Nasty Plot buff. So it's still, you have to run the more supportive set, so you're kinda, it is what it is. So it's like this last move here, like even Defog works, Discharge works. You know, Discharge is not a bad move actually. Yeah, you're not really running a specific item to run Trick with, you're not running a choice. So yeah. Gets Confuse Ray. Can be interesting. Confuse Ray is not the worst move. What's its accuracy? Isn't it like 100? Yeah. It's not even so bad, but Discharge is something to use, to consider as well, over Thunder Wave. As for the item, I mean, Rindo isn't bad, but I think Leftovers works pretty nicely on it. I would recommend Lefties personally. As for EVing it, I would probably go with more of a, you want to go full on bulky, or no, not necessarily. I would say give it a little bit more power personally. Let's see, so those are like 339, around like 315 is not too shabby. It hits a little bit harder, so when you're Volt Switching you're getting some solid chip damage. Your Hydro Pump is now able to actually pick up kills, you know, so that's good. And then your speed stat, you don't want to keep it too low. I mean, it goes all the way up to like 271, though you're kind of running it more on the bulky side, so outspeeding 246 is important. But we also have 249ers, we have 252ers, we have 256ers, we have 259ers, we have 262ers, we have 269ers, we have 271ers. So, I mean, it's just, who do you want to outspeed? What are we thinking about here? Cloyster doesn't really worry us too much, so we don't have to worry about outspeeding that. 252. We have Ludicolo to worry about. We have Ludicolo to worry about. Let's check him out. Let's see what he gets, because I know he's around there. He's 239. We gotta outspeed him. The 239ers. So, at least make sure that you're able to outspeed him. So, like, yeah, like, we have 246ers. I don't really, who else do we have to worry about then? That, yeah, you can really get into it, because it's important for a Pokemon like Rotom to do that. So we can look at grass types. So, Ludicolo is where? Right here. So Flap will never outspend Thwackey. shift tree. So base 80 we have to worry about. After 80 it's nothing. These guys we're not so worried about. We can switch in on those. Rillaboom, we don't have any real good switch ins. We have to worry about him. We have to Will-O-Wisp, but then you do have the Grassy Glide, so that's where Rindoberry would have to save you, if that even does. It does not. Don't think it does. So at that point it doesn't matter. So that's irrelevant then. And then opposing Rotom, which then okay. So then you can rule out opposing Rotom because you're a Rotom yourself. You can rule out Rillaboom since it has Grassy Glide. Cherim you can easily switch in on. Gourgeist, you can Will-O-Wisp. But yeah, if it hits you with a C-Bomb that hurts. What do you have for that? You have Magnezone. So you can kind of switch in on that, yeah, and you're not afraid of its Will-O-Wisp, so you can still switch Shift Tree. What does Shift Tree do for you besides obviously attack you? You can kind of go into Magnezone. It does get low kick, but that doesn't kill you. So you can handle Shift Tree kind of, as long as it's not running a low kick. But if you switch in on a Leaf Blade and then it has low kick afterwards, then you're getting a Flash Cannon, so you're still good. So Shift Tree you can be good. So Serena here, you gotta worry about Serena. Base 72 speed. Base 72 speed, what is that? So you got outspeed 267 if you want to avoid getting hit by her. If you want to Will-O-Wisp her first, which I think is a respectable thing to go for. But it means they have to run it pretty damn fast. Do they run Serena Jolly or Adamant? I think it is Jolly. But they normally run her. Let's check. So this is what you do when you team build. You just gotta look at things that you're afraid of. Oh, they run her Adamant. Yeah. So if you're against a showdown fucking noob, they're gonna run it Adamant. So guess what? We're gonna run it like it's Adamant, bro. Cause that's what most people are gonna do. So 243, just make it outspeed that, bro. And if they're Jolly, then just hold it, bro. Cause I mean, come on, you're not gonna add that extra speed, especially if they're telling you to run it Adamant. That's something to look out for. At that point, just hug it, bro. So 243, right? 243. 243. Am I right? I forgot already. I forgot. I think it's more than 243. Okay. Yeah. So you just want to outspeed that. So 246. You can go like 244, and you'll be fine. HP is want to be an odd number, so for your your damage, like your entry hazard damage, you're taking like it's even, like it's divided better. Like I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. It's just you always want the numbers to be odd, and the only time you don't want it to be odd is when you're running like a belly drum unburdening type of thing, like where you need to be half HP, but you always want it to be odd. Oh, I remember why. It's because it lets you switch in one extra time on entry hazards. That's specifically why. You always want to remember that, so do that. Okay. So Sticky Web. And then Volt Switch is nice, but you do have Thunder. I mean, it is a lead Pokemon, so Volt Switch on your lead is not shabby. It's not a bad thing. And then if you want Heavy Electric, you have Heavy Electric, so I would say run the utility. If it has if you have a chance to save your Galvantula and get a good matchup, say Volt Switch out of a Rock type right into Magnezone and then pressure them to go into, say, a Water type or go into something like a Fire type or whatever, you get your free Flash Cannon. So yeah, Volt Switch on a lead is pretty solid here. Giga Drain is okay. It helps you against Gastrodon and ground types, but let's look at what he really gets. Light Screen is there. Thunder is there. I mean, I wouldn't even mind running Volt Switch and Thunder, bro. If you can pick up a quick KO, then so be it. And then Bug Buzz is there. If you want to run that, to be honest, that's not a bad set. It's really not a bad set for a Galvantula lead. So I would say just give him something like that. I mean, Giga Drain's not bad, but you know, if you want to get him out there, you can get him out there. If you want to take advantage of your speed stat and your Compound Eyes with a high base, or if they want to switch out, if you threaten them out, you can get a high roll chance to paralyze them, and you have a high chance of hitting it with your abilities. So I would say that's a really solid option, running both of them there, both stab. You get your next stab, and then your Sticky Web to set up. Really solid set. I mean, you don't really want to use him to take out ground types, because Giga Drain is low base power, and it also has no stab. So you wanna switch right into Rotom for that, or right into Magnezone with your Air Balloon. Toxicity also likes the Air Balloon, but you're gonna have to play more bold and just run the Throat Spray or the Choice Specs. That's what I would say since you're already using the Air Balloon. I mean, the Psychic Berry I wouldn't really recommend. Too situational, especially since you have a more Pico that you can just straight up switch into, and you also have Magnezone who resists Psychic. This is also going to be good against Fairy types. Shift Gear does help you outspeed things if you want to run that, and then you get your Throat Spray buff from Boom Burst. Volt Switch is nice, but I would say you can just hard switch for Toxicity and just run the Overdrive, and then just run your Sludge. Something like that could be solid. They say run and bulky. Yeah, 217 is okay. Like, you go around with this. I'd say that's better. Something like this would probably get you by. Okay. Because at least like you can just simply do that, and then I think that will give you enough speed to get by with a sweep after your Shift Gear. You need a Shift Gear and then just Overdrive. If you want to D-Max, then you can D-Max with the buffs. But I'm thinking that since you have Sticky Web up, you might as well try and take advantage of the fact that they might be slower already. If you're like all the way down here, then you won't really have a chance of catching them up even with the speed buff, like those mons that you're actually afraid of, like those 252 speed sweepers. Whereas like if you're up here, then you have a chance of catching up and outspeeding them after the Sticky Web debuff. So that's how I'm just saying, okay, give it a little bit of speed, give it a little bit of bulk still, but you want to kind of balance it there just for those reasons. And you'll probably optimize your chances. So you can do it like that, and maybe this will be decent against ground, decent, but you're still gonna have trouble. You have your max overgrowth, it's gonna be important. You have your Scarf to outspeed things. Remember, you're easily walled by ground, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So your Rotom's gonna be crucial. Your Will-O-Wisp there to help you sponge the Tyranitar, and then you can Volt Switch if you need to, you know. So I mean, you're just worried about the Blissey slash Chansey. You're really worried about that. This is the only thing. If it Toxic stalls you, then you're gonna have a problem with that. So, especially if it runs Protect. But if it's just Toxic, I mean, you can survive. If it's like Toxic, and then if it's like you Bolt Beak it, and then you Toxic, and then you Bolt Beak again, and they switch out, and then you take 2 turns of Toxic damage, then it's not taking too much because they never Seismic you. And if they did Seismic you, then it's like you'd be okay, you know. Like, then they could switch out, then they'd be really low if they managed to survive that somehow. They'd be extremely low, so you wouldn't really worry about that, because like with a Sticky Web up or non-Sticky Web, pretty much your entire team outspeeds Chansey or Blissey, so you're not worried about that, you know what I mean? So as long as you just, you know, play it right, like preserve it if you see them that they have a Blissey. So like as soon as they switch it out, just switch it. If they be smart and they pull a double switch when you switch it out, it's fine. Because like worst case scenario, they just want to go for another Toxic. You also have a Toxicity which is immune to that. It's just that it doesn't really have anything to hit it with. But you know, you can still Shift Gear and then just spam your max Ooze, and that will still boost your special attack stat, and maybe it can help you. At least you're immune to Toxic, but Seismic Toss will still do something. It's just in D-Max with a double HP, you will definitely get by. So something to think about. It's just, you just gotta think about how you're gonna take down the Blissey. That's a big problem. You got this as a really heavy physical attacker. Between these two, Blissey should have a real tough time popping in, because as soon as Blissey comes in, it's like you can pop in this guy, and like worst case scenario, they Toxic you, they have to stay in on your switch for them to Toxic you. And if you're using 100% accuracy move with a Choice Band or a Life Orb or whatever, you're at least getting that chip damage. They don't have Regenerator, so next time they come in, Sticky Webs and whatever, you're chipping them. As long as they don't come in on your Rotom or something, they can't get the soft boiled up. So from there, just proceed to pressure with your physical attackers and prevent their Blissey from coming in safely. Alright, if their Blissey wants to come in, if you see an opportunity, go for the Volt Switch. go for the volt switch. Go for the volt switch, so that if they bring in their Blissey, you're able to counter it and bring in your physical attacker, preventing them from healing. You know what I mean? So you kind of gotta use the momentum of your team. You kind of gotta control the tide. I tried to give you your options on how to like get around your weaknesses of ground and bulky special walls and shit like that, but it just comes down to your ability. So I'm gonna make everything shiny and just give you the team. And I would say run this, bro, you know, try it out, let me know what you think. I think it would do pretty solidly, you know. That's what I would say, dude. So, let's do this, or you can just upload it from here. Okay, and let's paste it in the chat. And there you go, there's a mono electric team that you could run. I think that would be interesting, especially since Toxicity's weakness to Psychic is patched up by Morpeko, and Morpeko's a really odd mod. Oh yeah, there's an item, okay. But yeah, Morpeko you don't see too often, but it does fit. It's frickin' Bullet Seed is good against ground types. It helps break the Rindo barrier on Gastro, like I mentioned. Its typing is really solid. It has a good speed stat. It's really good. It's a really good pusher, you know. I think it would really be solid though. You can definitely consider running C-Bomb over Bullet Seed for the D-Max factor, because the base powers can be much lower using Bullet Seed, but I think it is what it is. Like, you have a lot of good D-Max mons on this team. If you D-Max Magnezone, it's not weak to anything but the Max Knuckle or Close Combat, which if you're Dynamax, you're not afraid of, because you have a high base defense stat. So, between that and like if they D-Max, it's like you got your Toxicity, like, bro, I'm telling you, you can definitely pull some things off with this. You can definitely pull some things off with that, so I would say run that, my friend, and have some fun. Be right back. I'm just gonna get a drink because I'm thirsty AF, bro.
Nobody does it like you do. And for all the others, there'll be better days ahead. And while I recover, I'll be wishing I was dead. So I gotta grow wings or die. I don't need another reason not to dive and life. Tell me if I'm doing it right this time. But let me know, what did you change?
I don't know if you guys know that meme. There's like a meme like this black guy who's like looking at something and he's like this. You know, he's like I'm about to get it. Yo, that's me right now. It's like me just now. Cause like I said I was gonna go get a drink, and then I remembered that we had some chicken stir fry in the fridge that like was just made like tonight, right? I'm like, yo, last night. I'm like, yo. I'm like, okay. I put some of that in the microwave, so I got that going. Glad in the end you use Mag and Talks. They're my two favorite electrics. Pod. They're pretty sick, dude. But yeah, I'm gonna be right back again. I'm just gonna take it out the microwave. I just wanna let y'all know what's going on.
You say you hate it, but you can't really tell. The future is smiling right at you. I'm not gonna make it, so you should save yourselves. There's no time to tell you I'll miss you. Discovering new worlds. Searching for life. Planets in the stars.
I went ahead and grabbed it. Yeah, I know you see that. I know you see that plate right there, don't you? That plate. Cause we finna eat, boy. Oh yeah. And chicken stir fry. Some good shit. So, I mean, I was thinking we could farm some more on Genshin as well. I wouldn't mind. But right now, I'm gonna eat this. Like everybody wanted to go and dip. Everybody dip. I think my timing is bad now. I don't know. It's only like 2 viewers. Let me refresh. Oh man, 2 viewers. Whew. Feeling it. Kind of think I should just end stream. Just cause like it's just burning electricity at that point. even though I'm down the stream, but yeah. You know, I'm in a pretty good mood right now. Feeling pretty good, but if I got the food here, might as well end. So I'm gonna do that then. Peace out, bruv.